Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and whiskey aficionados, no matter where you reside on the planet Earth. This is the Mad Mix Not Cheap Whiskey Review, number 38, I believe. I'll get it right in the title card as always. I believe this is number 38. On the bed tonight, as you can see, we have Glenfiddich 16. This is a special limited edition single malt scotch. I tied into the Formula One team. I guess they sponsor an Aston Martin Formula One team, I take it. Now, if any of you are not familiar with Glenfiddich, it's a distillery in Dufftown, Scotland. It's 12-year-old, it's pretty much a staple. It's 12-year-old as a Oloroso sherry and bourbon cask mix. Its 14-year-old is just the bourbon cask mix, I believe. Their 15-year-old is the Solera, their own Solera. I believe Solera is it's like a giant vat where you keep adding to it, and it's got to be a minimum age. And over the course of time, supposedly the first whiskeys, there's a little bit still left in there, so you might have, whatever the age statement is, it's the minimum of that much. But since it's kind of like this rotating vat or storage unit of whiskey, you never know what the oldest drops of whiskey in there are. And theoretically you could have a drop of the oldest whiskey that's ever been in that Solera unit. So I think that stems from like winemaking, but now a lot of distilleries are doing like a Solera type rotating thing to their whiskeys, keep adding it in and taking some out and that type of thing. You can look it up, Solera finish. It's a whole thing. But obviously this is a 16-year-old. They do not have a 16-year-old in their normal rotation. Let me put my glass down for a sec. I'll show you the back of and it tells you that this has been matured in 3 different types of casks. You got American oak wine casks, doesn't tell you the type of wine. First fill American oak, and second fill bourbon casks. So, with that being said, you've got a little wine, you've got 3 different casks going on in here. You get a big fat 16-year-old age statement. As you can see, I paid $68 out the door for this, and you get 43% alcohol, 86 proof. Now, I like Glenfiddich 12 Plenty Fine. It's a very good scotch, a good standard scotch, kind of like Glenlivet. Very drinkable, approachable. Glenfiddich isn't cheap even normally. Its 15-year-old is the Solera cask, Solera finish is like $72. So when I saw this 16-year-old for $68 and it's a limited edition, I said, well, you know what? I got to get it. So with that being said, let's get the snout right up in my little... I've really got to go get a bigger glass. This little tiny glass is killing me. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful malt. Beautiful malt. You're getting them hints of fruit. Must be coming from the wine cask, I would take it. Getting that slight hint of vanilla but in the background, but you're mostly getting a beautiful malt smell and a beautiful light fruit. Not light fruit as in like apples and peaches. It's more like a deep fruit, but it's not heavy, you know what I mean? Like you're getting that light, deep fruit touch to it. Yeah, it's a very beautiful nose. It's not overpowering them. It's like right there, but then again, with a 16-year-old whiskey, you've got plenty of age on this thing. This thing, all of its sharp edges are going to be rounded off. Yeah, it's beautiful. You're getting that hint of wine or grapes. Just a hint of it. And beautiful malt, like a beautiful malt. Not like an obnoxious malt smell, not like that grainy smell you get on cheaper whiskeys. It's just a nice character-filled nose. All right, and people, we're not here to sniff it. We're here to put it down the fat gullet, so let's go. Oh, that's just beautiful. Oh, you know what? This is my first not cheap whiskey review in a while. I've been doing them cheap scotches and cheap Irish whiskeys, and some of them are all right. But having a bottle of this after all that cheap Irish and Scotch, it's like going from banging a fat Walmart checkout counter cashier to stick in your face right up in Sydney Sweeney's fucking beautiful jeans. I'm telling you, this stuff is wonderful. Oh yeah, just a nice nose. God, it's such a nice refined, nice subtle malt with the hints of that wine barrel. Like I said, it doesn't tell you what kind of wine barrel. It just says American wine barrel, so it must be maybe a darker one. Obviously, I don't think it's white wine, so whether or not it's Cabernet, whether it's, I could not tell you. But it's a nice smell. It's not like an overpowering wine smell. It's like a nice, beautiful, fruity, grape-ish kind of smell, bordering on like what a sherry finish would smell like, but it's not sherry, obviously. Sherry is Spanish wine. Yeah, just a beautiful, subtle, well-rounded nose. Let's get one more sip down. Oh yeah, just a fantastic malt characteristic. Again, the palate is exactly like the nose. You're getting that beautiful, rounded malt flavor on the front. Subtle and sweet and beautiful. Followed like that subtle hint of fruit from the wine. Really nice, not overpowering. They didn't overdo it, which is good, because sometimes you put, there's such a thing as too little fruit flavor and such a thing as too much of that fruit flavor. This is hitting a nice click right here. And goes through that nice maltiness, stays through the palate, and you're not getting a ton of spice in the back end. All right, I've only got a little bit left. Let me do one last sip. Oh, just a beautiful, beautiful refined whiskey. You know what I mean? You would expect it for that price range. You pay $68 for a bottle. You better get some good whiskey. And Glenfiddich has delivered the goods on this. All right, let me put the glass down. All right. Enough of the bullshit. The Mad Mix Not Cheap Whiskey Review, number 38, I believe. I'll get it right. Glenfiddich 16, limited edition. Tied in with their Formula One team. Totally out of the ordinary for their normal line of stuff. This is like a total one-off. Just a beautiful whiskey. I'm gonna give this an 8.9. I think it's great. I think this is great. I think this is the best Glenfiddich I've ever drank. Now, of course, there's a lot of Glenfiddichs I can't afford to drink. I mean, you can go online and find some bottled in 1973 for $4,000. You know what I mean? And of course, they've got the Grand Reserve. They've got all kinds of bottles that are way up there in price. And even their normal offerings are not cheap. Like I said, their 15-year-old is $72. So to get a 16-year-old for $68, I'm not saying it's cheap. I'm not saying you're going to be willing to pay that price. But I'm glad I bought it. This is beautiful. I'm going to sit my ass down. I'm going to have a couple more drams of this and enjoy the hell out of it. And with that being said, I've been on these hot summer days, I've been drinking these drinks called Long Drink, the Finnish Long Drink, the legend of whatever, 1952. I believe the story behind this was that, Finland hosted the Olympics, the Summer Olympics in 1952 maybe, and they came up with a special drink for those hot days, something that was refreshing and fruity. And what this basically is a mix of gin, juniper juice, and whatever flavoring they put in it. This one's peach. I've had the citrus, I've had the cranberry, and I think that's it. And I've had this one, the peach. These things are excellent on a hot summer day when you don't want a beer and you don't like a fizzy drink. The good thing about this is it's not fizzy. Like, it's not like a seltzer or a Truly, you know what I mean? I don't like fizzy drinks. It's not my thing. I'm not fronting. If you like them, you like them. But this is like a nice gin drink with peach flavoring or citrus or the cranberry, whatever you want. And it's a subtle. It's not like a syrupy, overpowering peach flavor. It's like a nice, subtle, very drinkable drink. In fact, I'm going to have one right now. So with that being said, this one gets my recommendation. This is a delicious, well done whiskey by Glenfiddich. I know you're paying a premium for it, and it's limited edition, so I don't know where they're releasing it, if you can find it, how much you're going to pay for it. But this is at my very local liquor store. I went in there today I keep hoping they're going to get the Eagle Rare 12 in. I want to be there every Wednesday when they get their order in, just in case they get one bottle of that Eagle Rare 12, because I'm an Eagle Rare fan. I think Eagle Rare is the best bang for the buck. And if I can get that Eagle Rare at a decent price, that Eagle Rare 12, the new one they're releasing, then I'm going to be there to get it. So I'll be, in the meantime, I'll keep waiting. That small store, my closest store to me, the one that I go to the most, that I'm waiting on the Eagle Rare, and I got this from, they also got a barrel pick of Buffalo Trace in, like a store barrel pick. And I remember a few months back, he brought out like his 5-pint sample bottles and poured me, like a tiny little plastic cup, half a shot of each one, and asked for my opinion on which one I like the best. And I like the funkiest one the best. A lot of people were picking the safer, more Buffalo, but there was one barrel that they gave him a pick of, and I was like, ooh. I was like, this one's got a little funk to it. You know what I mean? Totally different than the normal Buffalo Trace profile. So I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to ask Anthony, who owns the store, which one he picked. He probably wouldn't remember anyway out of the 5 samples. I think he said he was going to do it like democratically. He's going to pass out samples to all of his customers who buy bourbons and whiskeys, and whichever of the 5 samples won was the barrel he was going to pick. And of course, they sent a barrel with them. Well, you know me, people. You know me with my filling barrels. I'd love to get my hands on that barrel, but how the hell am I going to fill a 53-gallon barrel anyway? It's taken me ages just to fill a 15-gallon. So with all that bullshit being spoken, love yourself. Always love and respect yourself. Do yourself that service. You don't love and respect yourself, who's going to do it for you, huh? Love and respect your family and friends, even if sometimes they don't deserve it. And love not cheap whiskey, especially this Glenfiddich 16. This one's a winner, people. I mean, if you don't like scotch, you're not going to like it, but take it from a guy who's drank a whole boatload of scotch. This one is a winner. See you later, people. Be good. Catch you on the next one.